What up, what up, what up, what up? Oshin'sView. We back. So they know who we sitting with. Sitting with the real Azie. Reason why you have to mention it that way, because there's another Azie that's out here. Extremely great rapper. One of the best that ever touched the mic. But the streets is always going to talk. And the streets is always going to get their story, and that's what it's going to be. Your real name is Azie Faison,
yes,
correct?
Sir. Yes, sir.
The other Azie that we're talking about, Anthony Cruz, raps with Nas, Azie. People don't know that you took him to court.
Yes, sir.
What made you take him to court?
Let me tell you exactly what happened, bro.
Okay, let's go.
I was working on this right here. Screenplay track.
There we go.
I was working on this right here. It was the strip to paid in full, the original.
The original.
You feel me? I look at it now as scripture instead of a strip, man, because this shit is powerful.
Oh no, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna definitely get to that.
But I was working on that. And I was dealing with a lawyer at the time, you know, coaching me through how to get this movie done. And a guy named Scutchy from Sugar Hill Records, who was sitting on my mom's stoop one day. He rolled up on me. He said, "What's up, babe?" I said, "You got a new song coming out?" I said, "What you talking about, man?" He seen some stickers. I think it was like AZ Sugar Hill. They were posting his single coming out. You think I can post? I said, "I ain't coming out with no song, bro. I'm doing something totally different. I ain't even fucking with the rap game." He said, "Word." And then a couple of days after that, he said, "Yo, I heard this song. You gotta hear that shit, man." Came and got me riding his car. He let me hear the song. I was like, wow. Easy Sugar Hill. That sound like me and shit, man. I'm from Sugar Hill. That's definitely my name and shit. I'm like, wow. So I went to my lawyer. I'm like, "Oh, would this be a problem, man, for me trying to get my movie off as AZ, you know?" And he was like, "We gotta look into that shit." So I think he bought the Dude album, and it was called Do or Die, something like that. First album. Mm-hmm. And he had a casket on his album with money. And the last album we done was one of the songs called Live and Let Die. Mm-hmm. We had a casket on our album.
Definitely did.
You understand?
Definitely did.
He was like, that's strange, man. We gotta see about this. He looked and see what label he was on. I think it was on EMI Records. And he was like, "Man, we gonna sue this situation, because it definitely seemed like he's taking your likeness to create his lane and shit." So he didn't sue him. They sued EMI. We didn't sue him. We sued EMI.
Okay.
And it was an out-of-court settlement. They lost in the deposition. It was an out-of-court settlement. And in the papers, the newspaper, it said, "What's in the name?" That's what this shit said. $450,000 that they said that they gave me. But I didn't get no $450,000 for that situation. According to my lawyer said, all I got was 50. And they took like 10% of that shit. Meaning like, okay, you know, they settled like, he could still keep the name because you didn't patent the name. But, you know, that was something like he can't acknowledge himself as Sugar Hill, something. How to deal with it, I ain't give a fuck. But long as it wasn't fucking with me getting this off. That was my whole approach to it. Because I understand, you feel me? You know, we met, me and that dude, we met before, we talked, and I get it. You feel what I'm saying? And it wasn't about, you know, beef or nothing. I can understand, like, you know, like Nas says in this song about Rich, he said our names in their songs before, so they knew who we were. And I respect that because, you know, eat and let eat. But I wasn't trying to have it stop what I'm trying to do with my shit. And that's the reason why the lawyer advised me to attack that situation like that. And that's how that lawsuit came about.
So, see the thing about it, and you definitely can still talk to this as well. The other one, I looked up, his original rap name on paper is the New York City 90s era Sosa. You turn so after all of that, because it sound real Tina Turner Ike-ish. So is that what 1 through 26, how that came about?
126 came about, being honest, when I got shot.
Okay.
Right? This is a true story, bro. When I got shot, and when they put me under the anesthesia and all that, when they had me in the recovery room, the first thing that came into focus was the room number. It was 126. And that shit stayed in my brain. Like, that shit like the first, that shit like a Matrix shit. 126, 126. That shit stayed in my brain. So when I got out the hospital, I wasn't into the Bible, into God, and none of that before. But from my experience, I wanted to know, something to save motherfucking life. Like, you know what I mean? So I asked my mom, I said, Mom, how you read the Bible? And she's like, you read chapters and verses. Right? Okay. I picked up the Bible. I said, what was Jesus born? Just out of curiosity and shit. And she said, you gotta look in Luke 126. I'm like, wow, 126, what the fuck is going on? So I read it. It says, that's when the angel Gabriel came to Mary on the 6th month, the 21st day, and she was highly favored, having the Son of God for her to name him Jesus. I'm like, I'm looking at 126, 621. You turn that around, that's 126 again. What the fuck is this? 126 is something deep. So I'm looking, I'm like, okay, 621, that's the first day of summer. Right? It's the sun. I said, oh shit, this is my own philosophy, but it makes sense to me. I said, when I got shot, my spirit left my body. I went into this bright light. I said, oh shit, this is me just bugging. But I'm like, the sun is God. And I know what they did with this fucking Bible. They created a character out of the sun and killed it in a book while the sun been there all along trying to tell us, I am. So we going through this, I'm like, I'm like, Marty, leave that Bible. I'm talking to her like this. Like, I said, okay, cool. But when I look, I started studying the 126 further and further and further. I'm like, oh shit. 126 in numbers is AZ. How the fuck God? The room I come back in, I said, something is on me, bro. Then a lot of shit just start popping up with the 126, bro. A lot of shit. My daughter, her name is Laurel Faison, in which her mother named her Laurel after her friend, but the L is the 12th letter and the F is the 6th letter. Patricia Porter, her birthday is 6/12. That's 126 in there again. It was just so much stuff. And after I finished writing the strip, where I met Dame, Jay-Z, and Biggs at, they had an office on John Street, and the suite number was 126. That's why I said, this is really deep. And then we know Jay-Z is like the main one that made Rockefeller, lyrically. The J is the 10th letter, and the Z is the 26th letter, 126 again. So it's something deep with that 126 that's making us like, oh shit. So now, this should still be on my brain. So I'm like, damn, when I got shot, I heard this sound. Right? And it sounded like, I was going into the light. So I said to myself, damn, man, after thinking that the sun was God, I said, you can Google it now or YouTube shit now. Let me YouTube and see the sound of the sun. I YouTubed it. It had that same sound. I said, oh shit. Then it says the frequency of the sun is 126. Come on, bro. That's why I say this is God's work for real. The sun is God. I don't care what nobody say, man. You can ask any tree, you can ask any fucking animal, nigga. They still obey nature. They still obey the Father. So when I look at it, it's like they got us going against the sun instead of being one with the sun by having a new day begin at midnight. That's the biggest lie in the world. It's obvious that a new day begins with sunrise. And nature rides with it. You hear the birds swing. They one with it. They got us going against it. Living in the lie. When we live in that, we live in the truth. And ever since that day, that's where my mind been at with that. There's no such thing as time. But it's a clock, and they got us underneath a clock that's totally against us, bro. I'm not trying to stir up no bullshit, but
Nah.
And that's what I learned that day when I got shot. Spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
So, going
all
back.
the way to the point, as we speak right now, my granddaughter, her birthday is on 126. You feel me? So it's not a coincidence that this shit is happening, even this interview. Because it's really time for us to wake up, to become one with the sun. Global warming is the return of God's kingdom to me. You know, I don't mean to get preachy on y'all, but spiritually, that's
Nah, get it off now. You have to get it off your chest.
That's why the cross is on there. You notice, you look at the logo, it speaks on it, brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
All right. These next two questions, these are kind of yes and no questions. So you consider yourself a street guy?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So my question for you is this: we're going back. This is after getting shot.
Mm-hmm.
What is a snitch to AZ?
Anybody that violate the code, personally speaking, definitely. But anybody that violate the code definitely is a snitch.
Now, the reason why I asked you if you consider yourself, of course, a street guy, because you're widely known as a street guy.
That's it.
So, with the situation that happened after you got shot, the hood wants to know why it wasn't handled. Why wasn't that situation handled in the courts and not in the streets?
Okay. I can just tell you the truth, bro. Whether they like it or not, it's their business. But when I got shot, like I said, they rolled me into the hospital, and they telling me that everybody died in the apartment, right? And you're about to die. We don't want these dudes to get away with this. This is how the detectives, they roll in the room. The detectives roll in the room. The doctor told him, like, yo, I don't think he have time to talk. We need to get in there and try to, you know. And it was like, I don't think, we need 5 minutes for him. The doctor said, I don't think he have 5 minutes. And they tell him, well, we gonna need those 5 minutes. And they told the doctor to leave the detectives, and they stayed in there, and they was questioning me. They kept asking me, you know, they told me, like, you're dying, right? There's no chance of you recovering, but we need to be able to catch these guys. Blah, blah, blah. Was you present at 1295 Grand Concourse at such and such time? I'm like, yes. Do you know who shot you? Yes. Do you know her name? I said, my sister's boyfriend. Do you know his name? I said, Kevin. Boom. I said, okay. Did he act alone? No, he didn't act. He had two other people. Didn't know them. Never seen them before in my life. What kind of gun did he use? I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. So then I think, I start fading out and shit. Like, you know what I mean? And then I felt them like touch my pulse. And then they put the covers on me like I was out of here. And they left. The doctors rushed in the room. They took the cover off me. They asked me if I'm all right. I shook my head right. And the next thing you know, I said, nah. I woke up in the recovery room, bro. So, to me, under those circumstances, they found Kevin. And Kevin told them he was there, but he didn't do no shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And the police ain't stupid. They took 3 different bullets out of him. So they caught the other 2 dudes, in which he told who he told on them dudes, because I didn't know him. And then they told him, like, listen, bro, we know you had to shoot him too, because there's 3 different bullets on him. But he wanted to take the stand to defend himself in court, in which they allowed him to do that. And he came up with this fake alibi, like it was cold, and his wife was supposed to take the girl he was fucking with, other than my sister, was supposed to take the stand in his defense. And the judge, the DA was like, listen, if she get up there, Your Honor, and if we catch her in, perjury, she could go to jail too. He said this to her. The judge said yes. And she said, well, I'm not taking a stand And that made it look fucked up in front of the jury. So they blew trial, you know, because there's no way they was getting around that shit. 3 people got shot, all these people taking a stand on you. You feel me? You can't get around that shit. But at the end of the day, you know, the streets gonna say what they want to say. And personally speaking, what happened to me, it shouldn't have happened to me. Because when dude came home, I set him out right. I gave the nigga a brand new Saab, gave him a block that was making about $15,000 a week profit, and all you gotta do is fall back, my nigga. You just come home, you shouldn't even wanna be in, you good. Eat. You feel me? And those dudes that was with you, if y'all planned this while y'all was in prison before y'all came home, and you seen how I'm rocking in the hood at that time, y'all should have changed your plans. Like, hold up, let's get with this nigga instead of get at this nigga. Let's take this thing to the Bronx, and you know, we do what he doing in the Bronx. I know he for supplies, and if they would took that state, they maybe would have jumped in front of the gun for me instead of using the gun on me, bro. You feel me? Defend me, and we could have had this whole shit on smash, the Bronx and Harlem. But nah, bro. And the outcome was nasty, bro. You know, 5 people. Y'all shot 5 people. You feel me? Y'all going to, you know, it's just a nasty situation that shouldn't occur, bro. Under no circumstance, man. So anybody that look at that like, oh man, fuck that nigga, he's a snitch ass nigga, blah, blah, blah. That let me know who you are, bro. You represent death, my nigga. I represent life, man. That's the difference, man. So those type of dudes should do life a favor, man. Just kill yourself, bro. Just kill yourself, bro. Putting that shit out there for the next generation to represent those type of niggas that do that type of shit to people, bro. We all in this shit together. Eat and let eat, man. That's my philosophy. Everybody eat, bro. They don't supposed to lead to this, bro. To fight the real fight, man. You know what I mean? That's how I see that, man. So when I see niggas on it like that, I know who you are. You're a demon, man. You're a demon, bro. The type of energy, we don't do that, bro. Feel me?
Feel you. This is Ocean's View. We're going to take another break. We're going to be right back. AZ.